In the wise words of Rafiki,
it is time.
Sort of. Kind of. Not really for us Canadians and cold climate gardeners, but sort of. Let's talk about what she could do in March, if anything. Hi, hello. If you're new to this channel, my name is Ashley. I have a bachelor's of science in soil science. I normally like to take that science and apply it to all things plants and soil. But today's video, I am here for your comedic relief. That is seeds to start when you garden in a cold climate. As promised, I will make this as non-bull shakalaka as possible. I will unfortunately torture you with the very real truth of what you can and cannot do. I will forewarn you, if you are new to this channel, I am an incredibly lazy gardener. Very much so. I don't like to start things until I have to start things. And that is because I don't enjoy extra work in my day-to-day. So if I don't have to be watering seedlings, because there's no benefit to watering seedlings, I don't do it. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, because technically, and I will mention which ones they are, technically some of these you could start and it would be okay. I also have promised you that I will tell you when I start my tomatoes down to the day. I'm going to do it on a live stream with the Geek crew. Today is not that day, blunt as possible. Today is not that day, but I promise you I will bring you guys along for that ride when it happens. And yeah, I think that's it. I am going to start some tomato seeds. Hear me out here. I'm going to start some tomato seeds every 3-ish weeks, starting now. I'm going to do about 5 of them up until I want to do beginning of June. And I want to show you guys the results from that and just how much starting them now doesn't matter. Or actually, the ones I'm going to start now, the 5 I'll start now, are probably going to be the poorest performers, if we're going to be totally honest. And I'm excited to show you that that is the case. So stay tuned for that. Obviously, that won't be taking place till much later into 2026. But nonetheless, if that doesn't scare you enough to not go bananas with your seed starting, then I don't know what else will. Okay, so I did do a video just recently on this where I talked about plants you can direct sow the moment your soil gets warm enough to do it. Now, not all Canadians, but some Canadians and not all cold climate Americans and Europeans will be able to execute on this, but some of you will. I'm probably not going to be one of them, judging from the fact that it's currently minus 40 degrees outside. But if you have a soil test thermometer, I told you guys 2026 is a soil test thermometer year, and I'm going to beat that horse dead if you have one. And it tells you that your soil is somewhere around 2 to 3 degrees Celsius, which is 35 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit, and your soil is workable to a certain depth that allows you to plant seeds, then there are a number of different seeds you can direct sow. Like I said, I've got a video that goes into much more depth on this, and actually the ranges as it escalates as things get warmer, kind of when you can put seeds in the ground. I will do a separate video on winter sowing, but March is not the time to necessarily winter sow per se, but it's close. So that video is going to come out here in the beginning of March because it is time to start thinking about that if you want to go that route. But this doesn't apply to winter sowing. This is literally putting shit in the ground right now. So for this category, we have things like spinach, peas, lettuce, radish, arugula, and all of these seeds have qualities to them that allow the enzymatic functions within the seeds to still operate at a lower temperature. Oftentimes, this is caused for a number of different reasons, either a thicker seed coating or a germ within the seed that has a higher sugar content. So, the whole alcohol doesn't freeze, or if you're incredibly intoxicated, usually you can last a bit longer outdoors in the bitter cold because alcohol doesn't freeze. Well, sugar is alcohol. And that does translate into the same thing as plants. So these are your alcoholic plants of the plant world, and they are able to withstand these cooler temperatures and to function at the lower temperatures in regards to germination. So definitely something you want to look at. If you want to get a head start, if you're itching, I highly recommend it because it is going to give you some signs that it is time to go and to start your seeds. Now, if your soil temp isn't perfectly at kind of that 2 to 3 degrees Celsius mark, don't worry, you can still put them in the ground as long as it's workable, and then those will sprout when things do warm up. This allows you in the case of things like turnips and radish and that to get a head start on them beating out the flea beetles and diseases that coincide usually later in spring. And then you generally can have tougher leaves that are able to either withstand a flea beetle infestation or that flea beetles just don't have interest in, because flea beetles are the cougars of the plant world and they only like the babies. I was going to make an Epstein joke there, but I'm not going to. Yeah, radishes, flea beetles. They don't like the old tough-skinned ones. Any users. Okay, first category of ones that you absolutely must start now at the beginning of March. No questions asked. This is last call. There is no buffer here anymore. Onions, leeks, celery, early cabbage, and early broccoli, as well as early Brussels sprouts. I'm noticing there's a slight influx or a lot more early Brussels sprout varieties coming to the seed world, which is cool. Awesome. Love a good hybrid, but those need to be started now because those are meant to produce in the first portion of the summer and not the later portion of the summer. So if we start these later, put them outdoors, they're going to bolt and they're not going to give you anything because they're not going to produce into the fall. So those brassica species are odd in the sense that you start them really early and then they mature midsummer. And then you'll start a second batch, generally speaking, in like May, June. And that second batch is what will get planted outdoors, generally speaking, midsummer. And then the harvest for that is actually late summer, early fall. So just fun facts there. It's not on your typical timeline. So if you've ever really struggled with like cabbages and broccolis and Brussels sprouts, maybe not so much cabbage, but cauliflowers, that sort of thing, it's probably because it's a timing thing. You're probably planting them outside with the rest of your like tomatoes and your peppers and that sort of stuff. You're thinking, well, I can never get a good harvest off of this thing come, fall or late summer. And it comes down to timing. So those guys last call, got to get them started. If not, you're going to have to hold off and then wait to start them, if that makes any sense at all. Next is the tomatoes and the peppers. Okay, so here's the thing. Let's do peppers first. Peppers, you can start now here in early March. There's no problem. You can do the hots. It's not last call. You would start them in late March if you want. I personally think you can also just even start them in April. The thing to think about, however, is whether or not you're going to top these. Now, I could do a whole video because I think the video I did on topping is quite old now at this point. And so I probably should do an updated one, see if there's any new research for topping for peppers and quality of fruit. But if you're going to top, which, by the way, I don't recommend you top based on my personal experience, there is no real benefit to topping in a cold climate with a restricted growing space. Topping in the fall for something that you choose to then save and overwinter and bring back in the spring, that's appropriate. But topping of a baby pepper plants, not my favorite choice for your average gardener. I personally wouldn't do it. So if you follow my rules, then you actually don't have to start these right now in the beginning of March at all. You can wait till the end of March if you wanted to. So yeah, peppers, the world is your oyster here in March. Choose whatever path you want to go down. So tomatoes, here's the thing. If you wanted to, you can start these at the end of March. There's no problem there. You're going to have larger plants to transplant outdoors. I highly recommend you doing this if you are doing, brandy wines. Things with 90 plus days to maturity are generally good ones to start. Indeterminate ones with 90 plus days to maturity, great choice to start at the end of March, not the beginning, not the middle, but the end of March. Great choices. If we are talking the whole video I did on like pepper and tomato varieties that are best to grab here in a cool climate because they have those shorter maturity dates, don't start them till April. Do not start them in March at all for that fact. You can. There's no real rules to gardening. You could really do whatever you want. You don't listen to me at all. That's the beauty of being able to shut my voice off whenever you so choose. But if you haven't shut my voice off yet, you may want to hit the subscribe button. Just saying. I'm cool to hang out with, I think, anyways. But yeah, you can. I'm not. I don't think you should. but you can. We'll leave it at that. Before we get into the rest of the things that you can start, let's talk about things you should absolutely not start that don't fall into the maybe you should start or you could start if you wanted to category. These are just like, do not do it. If you do it, you're dumb category, if you will. So these include things like cucumbers, squash, both winter and summer squash, beans, corn, sunflowers. None of those make sense to start now, unless, of course, Dawn, one of the people in the geek crew here, is starting to play with soil, and it shows on my nails. My ADHD brain just decided that it had to look at, okay, you could if you wanted to, again, but Don, for example, he likes growing sunflowers indoors. He likes the flowers inside. Nothing wrong with that. But if you are looking to just make sure everything's outside when it flowers and does its business, do not start any of these right now. That'd be a poor life choice. However, things you can start right now, and I absolutely would recommend you start right now, can include all of your flowers for the most part, other than the sunflowers. But if we're talking, you want a big castor bean plant, now's the time to start it. If you want beautiful trailing plants, petunias, good lobelia, alyssa, pretty much anything. Right now is a great time to start those because they grow slow. And my personal recommendation is a heat mat, small cell sizes, and vermiculite instead of soil. So small cell size is like something like this, for example. I think this is 120 cells. Don't make me math. Just have it on the side. God darn it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. What? It can be 25. That'd be silly. And so these are small. And inside of these, I'm not going to put any soil. I'm going to put vermiculite. Now, I'll do a video on vermiculite and these small cells separately. And I will do those also at the beginning of March, along with the winter sowing video, because there's no rush. There's no rush, but you can start them in March. And I will show you kind of the specifics of what to do here. But the idea being is that this allows for less water holding capacity, which is what we want with these smaller seeds. It also allows for better heat penetration because they're shallower and smaller cells. And it's easier to transplant and deal with when we have these smaller cells. So I'm going to do a whole video on the world of small seeds and flowers and that sort of thing. But again, that's going to come out in early to mid-March because while you can start them now, it is not mandatory. And I would say that if you're going to watch my video on that you're probably a beginner or someone who's newer to the world of flowers and that sort of thing. And so therefore, I would encourage those people to not start until later. I don't consider myself an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I personally, on a personal level, wouldn't even start these till later as well. So yeah. Anyways, that's that for the flowers. I think for March, there's kind of 3 big rules. Rule number 1 is sow those cold-tolerant seeds outdoors between March and April when your soil temp hits the right temperature. And you know for a fact you have the infrastructure to support it, whether it's low tunnels or cold frames or whatever the case is. If you don't have the infrastructure, you still have cold soil, then just forget that. That doesn't really matter. Number 2 is those longer term turnaround crops. So we're talking anything that lands in the 70 plus day range where the package does not say anything. And if it says direct sow, don't start it. Busy lives. And yeah. I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.